Hey everybody, I want to Wisdom here. It's 3:17 a.m. Tuesday morning, September 23rd. Gonna come in and upgrade Twin Blade Chop now. I have actually been looking forward to this for quite some time. Price you need for the upgrades is 12,288, 12,088, something. I think it's 12,088 with the full discount, so we're good there. Chop's actually one of my favorite characters. He goes back to SSA. I'm glad he's been around in so many different forms. Of course, he's got Eon's Elite coming up, but I only have one of him, so I can't showcase both paths to you. He's actually really hard to find, Twin Blade Chop. I know it wasn't that way at launch, but it is now. So if you don't have one and you see one, my advice would be to pick it up if you want it. That said, I mean, he's kind of classic. What I like about him is he's undead, but he has high health, and he's actually fairly quick and agile. He's not a character you think would be quick, but he actually is. So, that said, he's going to do 38 damage there, 57 on the critical side. He's got the shield. As you can see, he can move with it. If we had enemies here, it would be absorbing the damage. If we had, say, a Greeble Heaver shooting stuff at us, we can bounce that back at them. What I'll do to document that, since I can't really showcase it, is count the time on it. Basically 6 seconds, I think. I'll call it 5. I got 5 that time. That sounds more likely. So 5 seconds. Absorb damage, deflect projectiles. You get the idea. You should know Chop by now. Unless you're brand new to the series, and in which case you are, you'll learn a little bit about the game. Alright, so pay attention to how he looks. That's very cool in my opinion. Spiked Shield Bash is his first base upgrade. Price is 320. While holding A, press Y to Shield Bash an enemy. Distance increases with absorbed damage. So, this is cool just because he's really the first defensive character, and then he gets to turn it into an offensive weapon. Next up is Vampiric Aura for 448. The Archean Blade does extra damage, and you regain health by defeating enemies. Not much, but I mean, every little bit helps. Shield Spartan, move faster and block more damage. Wait on that one. Bone Brambler for 768. Press X to attack enemies with Bone Brambles. Let's go ahead and grab that. Alright, now note that his shield has changed. It's already got the spike on it, so we're going to get out of here. His sword now has the Vampiric Aura to it. So what I'll do is actually showcase the tertiary attack first. He basically slams the sword into the ground. This looks great with the graphics Vicarious Visions did. But let's take a look here. 60 to 90 looks like what we're going to have. And it's actually pretty good range. I'll see if I can hit both of these guys for you. We did actually, so that works out well. Usually doesn't happen on the first try. Plus he actually jumps into the target. Sadly it doesn't do like bonus sword damage or anything. But you get the idea. So, Bone Brambler is going to be 60 to 90. I also like the fact, you have to remember, we didn't used to have the jump ability, so whenever you did his tertiary, it was a teaser of what's to come. He kind of jumps in the air, slams down, and unleashes the Fury. The sword attack, we were doing 38 to 57, which is awesome damage box stock. So what we're doing now is 44 to 66, which again, that is a really good number from a base upgrade for something so efficient. So Vampiric Aura 4466. Spiked Shield Bash. Let's see, can I showcase this one or not? I think I can. I'll actually show you first. I'm holding the shield and then I can kind of lunge forward with it. I don't know if you can really make out what he's doing, but you'll see it on this. If I just block, we don't do anything. When I bash, you're going to see the 10. That means critical side of that would be 15. So, Spiked Shield Bash, how do we want to word this for the spreadsheet? 10 to 15. And then, like I said, if you're actually absorbing damage, then he can actually dash forward a little farther. So, just for reference, we'll start right in front of this guy. We've got it going. Each time I press Y, he kind of takes like, one stride, if you will. So, that can increase depending on the enemies that you face. That covers everything there. We need to get Shield Spartan now. Move faster and block more damage while holding A. So that's very cool. 576 is the price. Before we do that, I'm going to grab this over here. This is a Soul Gem Cursed Bone Brambler for 2560. Bone Brambles deal extra damage. They also change the appearance slightly. They look really cool. So we'll get that, and then we'll get the other, and then we'll select our path, and then we'll get the wild. So, Shield Spartan, we're going to go ahead and grab that. We already briefed it for you. Now, there's two ways that you could approach this selection with Twin Blade Chop Chop. Your initial thoughts are probably, okay, Wow Pow has something to do with the swords. I'm taking Vampiric Warrior. We're just going to go total on offense, and he's going to be a beast. If you think about it for a little bit, you might be inclined to go Undead Defender, because you've got the new Wow Pow that's going to do awesome damage, we hope. I've never actually seen it, so I don't know. But you know it's going to be an offensive Wow Pow, and you're thinking, okay, he's doing decent damage with, you know, the Vampiric Aura. We're up to 44 to 66, roughly 50-ish if you average it out. Why not go defensive here and then come in and let him have that Wow Pow to balance that out? That's actually a really good strategy. My thing is I don't have two of them. He's toughest to find in single pack form. But what I'm going to do is take Vampiric Warrior. I kind of like that path. It does some really cool stuff. It's almost Igniter-ish with the blade and everything. And it's going to allow us basically to maximize the Wow Pow. Whereas it makes perfect sense to me to go Undead Defender and, you know, like kind of balance the character. This is just going to tilt him full on offense, and he will still have a little bit, you know, with the base upgrade. So we're going to select Vampiric Warrior. Yes, we're sure. The good news is we can switch if we want to. I think we can actually go ahead and buy some of this. So we'll pick up his combos here for 1088. Archean Combat Master. Press YY hold A for Archean Cyclone. Press YY hold X for Archean Leap. Archean Leap is wicked cool. I don't think he gets enough credit for these combos in all honesty. So let's pick that up, and then we'll back out. I'll showcase what we just got for you, the 3 upgrades. And then we'll come in and get the others. Might have to do them one at a time, actually. Pay attention to the sword. That's the last time you'll see it like this, as far as I remember. So let's check out that Soul Gem. We're just going to do that. Cursed Bone Brambler. You remember what the Bone Brambles looked like? Now they're bigger, they're taller, they're faster. They're just all around more chop-chopish. So we were doing 60 to 90 with them, which is great damage. And now they're doing 85. That appears to be the standard number. 85, half of that would be, what, 42 and a half, so that would round up to 43, so 128 on the critical side. Now we want to take a look at the Shield Spartan. Basically, when he blocks with Archean Shield and Spiked Shield Bash, he's really slow. So now when we block, he can actually move pretty quick, and then when we charge forward, it's even better, obviously, because there's more speed. So let's make sure we're still doing 10 to 15. Nothing too crazy has changed there. And you can actually take in more damage. Let me do a time count on this now. Basically 15 seconds there. So that's a significant jump. We went from 5 seconds to 15 seconds. Spiked Shield Bash might have jumped to 10. I don't know. I didn't think to check it. My apologies. I'm kind of tired. But Shield Spartan we know is 15 seconds. 10 to 15 remains the damage, and you can move faster. So that's cool. And again, of course, the other thing is you can absorb more damage. To me, that's obvious with the 15 seconds. That's kind of correlates directly. I've got to change Spiked Shield Bash to 10 to 15, or it will give you October 15th for some reason. So now we want to check out his combos. We're going to look at the Archean Cyclone, which is going to be YYA here on the Wii U. Really cool. Again, I don't think he gets enough credit for this stuff. You can see the combo chopping right there between his twin blades. So basically 22 to 33. The number of times it hits is really going to depend. If you just have tons of chompies, I mean, you can register as many blows as possible. If there's a Greeble, you might hit him once or twice and then have a couple more that would have hit him but didn't type situation. So I'm just going to put the 22 to 33. And then the Archean Leap, which again is pretty cool because he jumps in it. It is YYX here on the Wii U. I'm trying to actually stage this to where I don't remember him yelling as much. Okay, so we're doing the Cursed Bone Brambler there. So hard for me to get a direct hit on him. It's basically one of those things you just fire off, but I'm just gonna put the, 85 to 128 because that's essentially what it's doing. My apologies there. I don't want to spend 40 minutes having 20 of it spent towards trying to get a number on that. So you get the idea of it. If you really want the exact numbers, you can spend the time to do it. And sad thing is, I probably got them somewhere in my archive of videos, so that said, Archean Vorpal Blade for 1408, it's going to change the appearance of the sword. Sword attacks do even more increased damage, and that's, folks, is inspiration for why I do this. That is not a satisfactory answer for me. I want numbers, not adjectives. So we'll pop out of here. Where we left off, we were doing 44 to 66 because of Vampiric Aura. You know it's kind of a bluish purple now, and it's got the lightning holes and everything in it. So 74, so basically 48 to 72 is where we're at. So that's another significant increase. I know it was 44 to 66, but 48 to 72 sounds a lot better. Did it change the combos? Let's find out. Yes, it did. So that was 46, so 48 to 72. Cyclone is going to be 26 to 39. And then since I can't register the Archean Leap, we'll try one more time. Yes, I'm leaving it at that 85 to 28. So 48 to 72, and then Cyclone 26 to 39. I'm calling that good. Alright, now right here we want to come in, and this is where things get really cool looking. It's the Demon Blade of the Underworld. How that wasn't the Soul Gem or something is beyond me. I guess that would have like slanted people towards taking Undead Defender, but that sword is just wicked cool, again reminiscent of him and Igniter. I'm surprised Igniter's not back, actually. He was this extremely popular and powerful character. Would have loved to have seen him evolve further. Maybe he'll be Eon's Elite, who knows. Probably he'll be a Ruptor, but keep your fingers crossed. Demon Blade of the Underworld 1920. Swords have longer range and do maximum damage. Again, longer range is fine. Maximum damage, I'm a numbers guy. I don't need more, even more, and maximum. I need the real deal here. So the sword itself has gotten ginormous at this point. That's probably where the range comes from. The aura has changed kind of like to a deep purple flame, if you will, kind of a little evanescence there going on. So let's see what we're doing. Again, we left off 48 to 72, and he's now jumped ever so slightly again in significant fashion to 52 to 78 on the critical side. Cyclone on this, which is the YYA combo. We're going to be doing 30 to 45 this time. So these little subtle jumps of 4 hits apiece, that actually adds up. Archean Blade box stock 38 to 57. If you go with the Vampiric Warrior, he winds up 52 to 78, which is a really, really nice primary attack. The 80 is the critical hit number, just with the charms kind of working in, so keep that in mind. Gorm really needs to move that weight to his other hand at some point. Anyway, now is the moment I have waited for. Is probably what you waited for. It's the Wow Pow. It's Dice and Slice. It's Twin Blade Chop Chop. That's the namesake. That's what's going on. 3,200 with the discount. Hold Y to charge up dual sword mode. Then release to unleash a furious twin sword attack. I like twin sword better than two there, so we're going to buy that. Sadly, it doesn't really change anything on him. Obviously, he needs to keep the shield because he's Mr. Defensive, but I think the blade might have gotten more detailed. So, question now is, how long do we have to charge, and what are those sweet, sweet damage numbers? So, let's find this out. We're going to face it over here. There's only 9 seconds there. Let's release it. So he can move pretty quick with the twin swords, and they both look awesome. That's pretty cool. So you actually don't have to wait for the bar to fill up. 8 seconds to fully charge, in my opinion. Let's get a count on the time to expend it. You know what? I'm actually going to change that. Dice and Slice, I'm going to put 7-second charge, 7-second run. Now, the strategy guide said that he's not responsive whenever you have him try to move. I think he is. I mean, obviously he's not as nimble as he is right now, but I mean, I was expecting it to be like Golden Yamato Blast. It's just a straight line deal and you can't angle it or anything. I'll charge this up a little bit, and I mean, if I want him to turn this way, I got it. I mean, I did basically a circle right there, so I think they over-exaggerated that a bit. But now the moment of truth is, what kind of damage are we going to get out of this? And to find out, I'm going to fully charge this thing for roughly the 7 seconds. Here's a look at him from this side. You kind of have a purple aura in the left hand and then a blue aura in the right. I personally prefer the blue. I think it complements his color scheme better. But let's unleash the fury here. It's nothing too crazy, actually. Just 34. That's a bit of a disappointment, but it does look cool. So 34 to 51 damage. I expected it to exceed what we had. So essentially, like where we left off with 52 to 78, I'm thinking the Wow Pow is going to do maybe like 60 to 90 type damage, which that's where I think it should be. As is Demon Blade of the Underworld right here, you're doing 52 to 78. And then if you charge for 7 seconds, then you're going to do 34 to 51. Granted, I guess maybe they fire off quicker or something, but I expected higher damage. That said, it's Chop Chop. I'm not too disappointed. He's a very cool character, very unique, primarily because of that shield. I like the sword attacks. I like his tertiary attack. I'm still trying to kind of like figure out the Archean leap here and how to document it. I mean, obviously the Cyclone stayed the same with the Wow Pow, but the Archean leap is just one of those things. It's kind of going to be that 85 to 128, and then you're going to just have, you know, kind of like the brambles that come out, which also do 85 to 128. So, you know, you get the idea though. It's Chop Chop. You should know the guy by now. We've had Series 1, Series 2, you had Legendary. I'd like to see a couple more things with Chop Chop. I know he's got the Eons Elite coming, but I thought he would have been a really cool light core. I know I don't think anyone's ever said that before, but just the way his face is, I think it would have been very nice. And then maybe if you did a little something in the blade, or you could have even foregone the face and maybe had that glow in the dark and then have the blades light. That would be wicked cool. But nonetheless, I'm going to end this. I'll go on to Phantom Cinder, and hopefully it helps you out. Again, take that link at the top of the video description box. Let me know what you think of Twin Blade Chop Chop, which path you picked and why, what your logic was for it. If you have not subscribed, make sure you do that. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you back here for Phantom Cinder.